Welcome to this 10-minute definitive guide on a health risk hiding in plain sight. Your reheated leftovers. I'm Dr. Deepins. While reheating food is a daily habit for most, as a medical professional, I need to show you how certain reheating processes trigger chemical transformations that are genotoxic to your pancreas. Today we're breaking down the science, revealing the 5 danger foods, and giving you a clinical protocol to protect your long-term health. To understand the risk, we must look at the unique anatomy of the pancreas. It is a high-demand organ, responsible for both digestion and blood sugar regulation. Unlike the liver, which is built for detoxification and regeneration, the pancreas is highly sensitive and has a much lower capacity to repair DNA damage. When carcinogens like nitrosamines enter your bloodstream through reheated foods, they target these delicate tissues, creating the oxidative stress that can lead to cellular mutation over time. It's important to understand that this is a cumulative risk. For individuals over the age of 60, clinical research suggests the body's ability to detoxify dietary byproducts can drop by nearly 40%. This means that a reheating habit that was fine in your 30s becomes significantly more dangerous as you age. The byproducts simply stay in your system longer, causing more DNA damage to your pancreatic beta cells. Our first category is reheated processed and cured meats, bacon, sausages, and deli hams. These are preloaded with sodium nitrites for preservation. When you reheat them, especially at the high localized temperatures of a microwave, these nitrites react with amino acids to form nitrosamines. These are classified as confirmed Group 1 carcinogens. A landmark study from the University of Hawaii showed that high consumption of these meats increases pancreatic cancer risk by 67%. Reheating them effectively supercharges this toxicity. Category 2 involves starchy staples, potatoes and rice. Potatoes subjected to secondary high heat produce acrylamide, a probable carcinogen, at levels up to 220% higher than the original cooking. But rice has a unique danger: Bacillus cereus spores. While reheating might kill the bacteria, it does not destroy the heat-stable toxins they produce during storage. These toxins cause low-grade intestinal inflammation that sends persistent inflammatory signals directly to your pancreas. Beyond the toxins, the cooling and reheating of starches destroys resistant starch, which is metabolically protective. This causes a much sharper blood sugar spike than fresh food. Every time this happens, your pancreas has to go into emergency insulin production. Over years, this chronic beta cell exhaustion creates a pro-inflammatory environment in the pancreas, which is a documented precursor to malignant changes. For leftovers, cold starch is much safer than hot. Third on our danger list, leafy greens like spinach, kale, and beets. These are nutritional powerhouses when fresh, but they are rich in natural nitrates. After the initial cooking, bacteria begin converting these nitrates into nitrites. When you reheat them for a second time, these nitrites react with amino acids to form, once again, nitrosamines. A 15-year study by the Karolinska Institute found that regular consumption of these reheated greens led to significantly higher concentrations of carcinogens in the body. Category 4 is vegetable and seed oils. Polyunsaturated oils like canola, soybean, and sunflower are highly prone to lipid peroxidation. Reheating these oils produces toxic compounds called aldehydes, such as 4-HNE. These are highly reactive and have been shown to directly disrupt the DNA within insulin-producing cells. If you have fried foods, never reheat them in the same oil, and avoid microwave settings that create hot spots of oil oxidation where these toxins concentrate. Finally, we must discuss reheated chicken and poultry. The protein structure in poultry is particularly sensitive to repeated heat. Reheating, especially above 165 degrees, causes proteins to undergo secondary denaturation. They literally change into a crumpled shape that is much harder for your pancreas to process and digest. This struggle produces heterocyclic amines, or HCAs. Clinical data shows a 72% higher risk of pancreatic issues in those with high HCA blood concentrations. Choose a cold chicken salad instead. I often get asked if the oven is safer than the microwave. The answer is, the heat source doesn't change the chemical reaction. Whether it's a pan, an oven, or a microwave, it is the secondary application of heat to chemically altered food that creates the carcinogens. Another common myth: I'll just heat it extra high to kill everything. High heat actually speeds up the formation of nitrosamines and acrylamides. The goal should be fresh preparation or cold consumption of these specific 5 foods. Pancreatic damage is notoriously silent. For most of my patients, the damage from chronic nitrosamine exposure doesn't show up in a single blood test. Instead, we see a slow, 20-year progression of microscarring and chronic inflammation. By the time symptoms appear, the cellular landscape has often already shifted toward malignancy. This is why these small kitchen habits are actually the most critical health decisions you make every day. Prevention is the only reliable cure for the pancreas. Many patients ask if air frying is a safe alternative for reheating. While air fryers use convection, which can be more even than a microwave, the high heat nature still triggers the secondary Maillard reaction in starches. If you are reheating potatoes, even an air fryer will trigger that acrylamide spike. For protein, the risk of denaturation remains. The hard clinical truth is that for these specific 5 categories of food, no reheating method is truly safe for your pancreas. Fresh or cold is the only medical gold standard. The data supports this kitchen-pancreas link on a global scale. We see significantly higher rates of pancreatic cancer in Western nations, where the consumption of reheated, pre-processed convenience foods is at its highest. Conversely, in regions where fresh food preparation and cold preservation are the cultural norms, pancreatic health is markedly superior. We are literally seeing the results of our modern reheating habits play out in national oncology statistics. It's time we take this data seriously. Here is your safe leftover protocol. Step 1. The 90-minute rule. You must refrigerate cooked foods within 90 minutes of them leaving the heat. This flash cooling stops the bacterial activation that triggers nitrate conversion and protein breakdown. Leaving food on the counter for 2 hours is literally preloading your leftovers with the chemical building blocks for carcinogens. Cooling speed is your first line of defense for your pancreas. If you absolutely must reheat, use step 2. Nutrient buffering. Pair the reheated meal with high doses of vitamin C and vitamin E. Fresh lemon juice squeezed over greens or a side of walnuts can help inhibit the formation of nitrosamines in the stomach and help quench oxidative stress in the pancreatic tissue. Think of these as a biochemical shield that helps neutralize some of the damage before it reaches your organs. If you are concerned about your pancreatic health after years of these habits, here are the tests to request from your doctor. Start with an HbA1c to check your long-term insulin efficiency, and ask for lipase and amylase levels to check for chronic inflammation. For those with a significant family history, a baseline abdominal ultrasound can provide peace of mind. Be proactive. Don't wait for the red flags we discussed earlier. Your pancreas deserves a seat at the table during your annual physical. It is also vital to discuss synergistic toxicity. If you combine reheated dietary toxins with moderate alcohol consumption or smoking, the damage to your pancreas doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Alcohol creates an inflammatory state that makes the pancreas even more susceptible to the nitrosamines and HCAs we've discussed. If you're a smoker or a regular drinker, adopting these safe reheating protocols isn't just a suggestion. It's a clinical necessity to offset your elevated baseline risk. We've covered a lot today, from nitrosamines in bacon to the acrylamide spike in potatoes. My goal is to empower you with clinical knowledge. I'm challenging you to a 1-week kitchen reset. No reheating processed meats, starches, or greens for 7 days. Notice how your digestion and energy levels improve. Your pancreas has worked for you for decades. Give it the break it deserves. Thank you for joining this 10-minute masterclass. I'm Dr. Deepins. Subscribe to protect your health, and I'll see you in the next guide. I've included a detailed Do Not Reheat guide and a patient checklist in the description below. Share this video with a family member who loves their leftovers. It could be a life-saving conversation. Remember, your kitchen is your first pharmacy. Choose wisely, stay active, and stay healthy. I'll see you next time.